Hey everyone, kia ora te whānau. So this is another episode on tips and tricks for those people going to the Australian Grand Prix for the first time. Hi, my name's Lauren. I have been to 3 Grand Prix so far, 2 in Melbourne, 1 in Singapore, and I will be at the Australian Grand Prix in 4 weeks' time, and also the Singapore Grand Prix later this year as well. By no means am I an expert on actually going to a Grand Prix, but I'm just going to give you some advice on some helpful tips that might actually help you along the way. And things that have actually helped me survive whilst I've actually done Grand Prix. So this episode's actually going to be talking about food. Now, in a previous episode I did about what to bring, I actually mentioned about bringing with you your own food. And I basically just touched on in that about where to buy food if you're on a budget. But I also mentioned how expensive it is actually to buy food at the track. And also, if you have a special dietary requirement, which is outside of the typical things such as being gluten-free or vegetarian, for example, you might actually find very limited options at the track. So my highest recommendation, which you can actually do when you go to the Australian Grand Prix, is bring your own food with you. Now, some suggestions I can actually tell you about from previous experiences maybe is actually going to either the Woolworths that is near the Southern Cross station, or the Woolworths Metro, which is actually near Flinders Street Station. Just depends on which tram you actually need to catch to actually figure that one out. That's actually in a previous episode where I was telling you how to actually get to the track. And with that, you can buy things such as like salads, bread rolls, maybe slices of meat if you eat meat, or you might be actually able to buy ready-made sandwiches with you as well. There's some suggestions for you. However, I do understand that if you are either somebody like myself who is vegan for health reasons and also someone who keeps kosher, this is a meticulous plan that you actually have to do prior to that, and it may actually involve you actually pre-planning what you're going to be taking with you to the track that you know you can actually eat. I usually go for things like muesli bars, sandwiches, sometimes salads as well. Or last year where I actually pre-prepared all of my meals and put it in a cooler bag with an ice block to keep cool throughout the day whilst I was actually at the track. This is entirely up to you how you want to actually navigate how you're going to actually eat at the track. And also bear in mind that you can actually bring your own water in and you can bring metal water bottles in to refill throughout the day. As for things like, say if you want to have soft drink or whatever it might be, you may actually need to bring a bottle in with you rather than actually cans, for example, because cans and glass is something that I don't think you can actually bring into the track. And that's pretty common sense for most events anyway, in Australia, because you can't actually bring cans or bottles in. And also the other thing you can't actually bring in is alcohol as well. My only recommendation as someone who does actually have really special dietary requirements, plan ahead, know what actually works for you best, but also bear in mind there are actually supermarkets within close proximity to the trams to take you to the track, where you may be able to pick up some snacks and things like that as well. The other thing I also should mention is snacks, snacky foods. Things like bags of chips, you can bring those in as well, muesli bars, cheese and crackers, things that you might actually like as snacky food. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. But I do actually hope that there's some sort of information I can give to you, and hopefully this actually works for you in 4 weeks' time when we go to the Grand Prix, because there's nothing worse than actually forking out quite a bit of money for very little, literally, like a bottle of Coke, maybe about $6 or $7. And a plate of chips can actually be up to $20 at the track that I actually found out last year. Pretty scary pricing. So if you are definitely on a budget or you're with kids and you're trying to actually reduce your costs, that kind of thing, I definitely would go with the way forward of actually bringing your own food with you to the track. All right, peace out, guys.